with your host, Adam Lubin.
Hey, what's up guys, Adam here, and one of the things I said I would do is that as soon as I get the PC back on the desk, I would give you guys a desk tour for 2016. So the PC's been back on the desk now for a while, so without any further ado, this is going to be the desk tour for 2016. So starting with my gaming center, I have my Xbox One, which is my main gaming console of choice. I also have next to that my PS3, which I still jump onto from time to time, especially if I want to go ahead and play GTA 5, so I still have that. So my monitor of choice is the LG 22-inch IPS panel. So it's an IPS panel, so it's not going to be the fastest monitor for gaming, but I'm not really a serious gamer, so the monitor is definitely sufficient for me. Behind that, I still have my trusty old Sanyo 27-inch TV. I don't really watch TV that much, as I've probably said loads of times throughout my videos, but I still have the TV there just in case I decide to kick back and watch some TV. So next to the TV, I have my Logitech X140s. These are a great pair of speakers. I've had them now for a little over 6 years. I'd be surprised they still make them, to be honest, but they are a great pair of speakers. And I sometimes use them for gaming if I don't want to go ahead and plug in my headset. I just simply use the speakers, and they do serve me really well when it comes to audio quality. So all this setup is sitting on top of a Linman desk. I believe it's the shortest Linman desk, the 100cm piece, and also below the Linman desk I have an IKEA office drawer to store all of my cables. Towards the front of the setup, I have my Axbiz charging station. It's a 7-port USB charging station, so I can charge my phone, my tablet, and any other USB peripherals that I have, which is very useful to have because I don't have a large number of actual outlets, so it's good to have a single USB hub where I can charge all of my USB devices from. So moving on to the main setup, the one that you probably see in the background of the majority of the videos that I make, and pretty much where all my production work gets done. So starting from left to right, as you can see, we have the Tailtronics lamp, a great looking lamp with several different modes. You can have a reading mode, a study mode, you can also have a relaxing mode. There's several different modes on the lamp, and it also looks very good as well. Now with the lamp itself, it also comes with a USB mode, so you can actually plug in a USB charger. For example, you can go ahead and charge your phone, so it's a fantastic additional thing to have on your desk. So I actually like having the Tailtronics lamp there as well, because it almost serves as two purposes, one for a lamp and also one to actually charge a USB device. And the lamp is actually serving as a third purpose in this case, because you can see I'm actually resting my headphones on top of the lamp. And the headphones in question are the JVC X-Sound headphones. These are a fantastic pair of headphones. They are a bit heavy on the bass side, but not so much where it drowns out the mids and the trebles. And overall, they're very comfortable. I can wear them for long periods of time when I'm doing a lot of editing work. So my microphone of choice is the MXL 990 large diaphragm condenser microphone, and it's mainly used for voiceovers, including the voiceover that I'm recording right now. And the microphone in question is currently sitting in a HQ power stand. So my speakers of choice, or more like set of speakers that I'm using, well, first and foremost on the desk I have the Logitech A11 speakers, and then below the desk I have my Echo bookshelf speakers. Now the way I've got them set up is that most of the treble is coming from the actual A11 speakers on the desk, since they're a lot smaller speakers, so they can handle more of the treble. And I've also got it set so that more of the bassier tones and portions of the mid-tones are coming from the Echo speakers, since they're bigger speakers, so they can push more air and therefore more bass. So it makes more sense to push more of the bassier tones through those speakers and more of the higher tones through the Logitech L11 speakers. So on the theme of audio, my mixer of choice is the Behringer Q802. This is a great mixer. It has phantom power, so I can connect all of my condenser microphones to the mixer, and it also controls the audio and the audio output coming from the PC. And this actual mixer offers a lot more than I actually need to use, so it's definitely a future-proofing unit to have. And I've had it for about a year now, and it's served me really well, so I'm actually enjoying using the mixer itself, and it definitely does allow me to be very diverse. So moving on to my peripherals, my keyboard of choice is the Peripherals 5200. Now if you want to see a review of this keyboard, I'll leave a link in the description down below, as I did a review of it earlier last year. But this keyboard is fantastic. It's a Cherry MX brown switch keyboard, so I kind of see it as that it's a hybrid between a membrane keyboard and a Cherry MX Blue keyboard, because it's not quite as loud and as tactile as a Cherry MX Blue keyboard, but there is some tactileness still to it, and that's why it's pretty much a great keyboard for gaming, because you don't have to always bottom out the key to get a response like a Cherry MX Blue keyboard. And as well, it's going to be not quite as quiet as a membrane keyboard, but you're still going to get that tactile feel as if you're going to be using a Cherry MX Blue keyboard. So that's why I call it the hybrid keyboard. And I actually find it weird now if I go back to using a membrane keyboard, because I'm so used to the tactile feeling of having the Cherry MX Brown keyboard. So my mouse of choice is definitely nothing to really shout home about. It's pretty much a generic gaming mouse, and it's just a mouse that I bought off eBay. There isn't really much branding to it. All it says on the mouse is that for the game, which I'm guessing is just to say that it's a gaming mouse. I don't really know. And in terms of the DPI, I think it comes in at about 6,400, so not ridiculously low and not stupidly high. So it's kind of in the middle, and I'm not really a heavy gamer, as I said several times, so I'm not really concerned about having a ridiculously high DPI on the mouse. So my monitors of choice are the AOC QHD monitors. These are 2560 by 1440p panels, so I have plenty of real estate when I'm using both these panels at the same time. And I've actually done a full review of the monitor itself, so be sure to go ahead and check out the description. I'll probably put the link down there so you can go ahead and watch the entire video. So my webcam of choice is the Logitech C270, which is a great webcam. Originally I used to have a webcam called the Trust 1080p, but the 1080p was so bad it was almost like 480p, but now I actually switched over to the Logitech C270, and it's 720p, but compared to the 1080p that I was getting from the Trust, it wasn't even comparable. I mean, the 720p resolution from the Logitech is just so much more better than the 1080p that I was getting from the Trust webcam. So that is my webcam of choice when I decide to either do Skype or Hangout calls. So I have that mounted on top of the monitor. So below the desk, or should I really say screwed into the desk, moving back onto the theme of audio, I also have my pre-mixer there, so I can go ahead and control the audio going into the bookshelf speaker, so I have more control rather than controlling everything just from my Behringer mixer. So on the right of the desk is pretty much where I have my PC that drives this entire setup. Now, as I mentioned before, when I sent the PC back in for repairs, I had that whole horror story of the PC getting damaged during shipping, which it did. Now, unfortunately, along with some of the damaged components, some of which included 2 of my 2TB hard drives, and it happened to be the 2 that had the most data on them, and I've tried to set them to data recovery, but unfortunately nothing that can be done to salvage the data, so I've lost all that data that was on there, which is a bit frustrating. Now, the company has tried to kind of meet me halfway. They sent me out one 2TB hard drive as a replacement, but I would have been more than happy enough to have the data back rather than having a new blank 2TB hard drive. But I'm just gonna have to move on from that point and deal with what I've got to deal with now. And I'm trying to, luckily I had most of the important data backed up on the other hard drive and the SSD, but in terms of the quantity of data, that was the majority on both those 2 hard drives that got damaged. So unfortunately I no longer have that. But all of my YouTube content was unaffected. It's more to do with my personal photos and videos and family videos that I had were all stored on those 2 hard drives. So unfortunately I haven't got that anymore, but I'm still working towards it. And I'm hopefully, if I have any situation, that I pretty much just drive the PC back up to myself for repairs, to be honest. But yeah, that the PC is still there. I've got all of the software that I had before, so all that's unaffected, and I'm still able to make YouTube videos like before. As I've still got all of my intros and all of my graphics and everything like that, so all that's still there. But I've just lost more of the personal data from the other 2 hard drives. And finally, the icing on the cake, as I like to call it, I have my blue LED light strip at the back, just to add a bit more light to the back of the desk setup itself. So the entire setup actually sits on top of a 200cm Lindemann desk, as well as an Alex drawer unit where I go ahead and store all of my paperwork. And that is pretty much it, guys. If anyone's interested in seeing a list, be sure to leave a comment down below and actually input the list for all of the items that I mentioned on both desks. And anyway, guys, it's been Adam here. Thank you for watching. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next tech video. Bye for now.